Jai Jagannath friends. Recently, for a couple of years, what has been going on social media platforms and video platforms like YouTube, that there have been actually many instances where people are talking about Bhavisya Malika, people are talking about Kalki Avatar, people are talking about all sorts of different things like how the yuga is going to change, how Satyug is going to come, Kalyug is going to change, how Kalki will be taking a birth, or Kalki Avatar, the supposed Kalki Avatar that would be coming at the end of the age of the Kali, how Kalki Avatar is going to appear and how destructions etc. will go on. So lots of things have been happening for past couple of years, mostly because of this coronavirus pandemic that happened from 2020 onwards. So people started to talk about many different sorts of things like that. Pandemic is happening for the first time, they are reacting like that. But the problem is that this is for a generation like us, this is a first instance where one pandemic has happened and where worldwide some disruptions has occurred. So people try to come up with different theories, different kind of information from sources like, let's say, Puranas, Vedas, or any other saints, prophecies like, let's say, Nostradamus, Baba Bhenga, and Bible, and different scriptures like, let's say, Bhavisya Puran. So they are doing lots of things, they are talking about many different things like conspiracies as well. But the truth is, not all of them can be correct, not all of them can be true, because people are not always talking whatever true. Someone hears something, he does not know whether it is correct or not, he just simply propagates it, writes it, or maybe due to the lacking of any kind of facts or information by which they can verify it, they simply believe it, and they also tell others those kind of things. Whatever may be the reason, due to the availability of platforms like YouTube, etc., people are creating different sorts of videos for different sorts of purposes. Some are saying we are spreading awareness, some are just expecting more views, revenues, etc. But the thing is, when it comes to Bhavisya Malika, I was actually deeply saddened to see this, because Bhavisya Malika is something that is from a state, small state like, let's say, Odisha. People of Odisha, they know about it, Bhavisya Malika, because it was written by a few saints who actually were contemporaries of Sai Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were in that period. They had written some prophecies or prophecy books, so those are known as combinedly Bhavisya Malika. Instead of saying that this is the Granth, this is the Granth, because he has written many granths or many books of prophecies, which are which are actually known to be having the information for the upcoming futures. So in those time, instead of saying that okay, this is the book name, this is the book name, because there are so many books, they in a general term they tell it as or term it as Bhavisya Malika. So it was known to people of Odisha. Even I am from Odisha. I knew it from my childhood also. So when other people who have never read Bhavisya Malika, who are not aware about Bhavisya Malika, they start to talk about it. They simply propagate whatever someone is spreading, let's say from a state of Odisha, someone who has read it. Because let's say I hear it, I have never read it, someone is saying it, I tend to believe it, because I have never read it, I have never fact checked it, I tend to believe it. So there are many things going on, and it was going on in our Odisha state. People are making video shows, people are making television shows, lots of things are going. This is common for us, so we never mind those things. Okay, let them do that, because we know whatever they are telling is only for a business purpose or for some any other entertainment purpose, but without having any substance, without having any fact in it. Because the same thing has been propagated for means many years. They are telling that this will happen, but it never happens. So they tell that okay, this will happen in this year, it never happens. They tell that this will happen in this year, it never happens. So the year goes on like that, but it never comes to pass. And that's how prophecies all around the world work. Everyone tells this will happen and claims also that, okay, I know the truth, this will happen in this year. And that year comes and goes, nothing happens. This is the truth. But the problem is, eventually they will be correct. Why they will be correct? Why this group of people will be correct? I'm not saying any particular person, but eventually these kind of group of people who keep on telling that, okay, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, the world is going to end, eventually they will be correct at some point. Why? Because the prophecies of the great saints, or maybe you can say from the scriptures, they are not false, they are going to take place, but not in the year or in the month or on the day those people claim to take place. So the thing is, nobody knows the truth. They think that they know the truth, so they are propagating it. Some simply taking the opportunity as a way to market their product, market their business model, or whatever they are doing. So this has been happening for a long time. The reason I am making this video is that I noticed that apart from in the state of Odisha, it is happening in other states of India as well, and people are talking in many different videos about Bhavisya Malika. Mostly means people outside Odisha who have never read it, who don't understand what has been written in the Bhavisya Malika, what are the content of these books, what is the purpose of this book. Without knowing it, they simply hear from some people who are propagating this from this state, and they tend to believe it because current scenario in the world is kind of matching whatever is they are preaching. So it could be just that they see whatever is happening in the world and they simply link up with Bhavisya Malika and do it, because this is not the first instance they have been doing it. It has been done in the past as well. So the problem with that is that means they have made Saint Achyutananda and the book Bhavisya Malika like any cheap book, like any cheap saint. Achyutam, I see videos, people making videos like that. Achyutananda predicted this will happen in 2023, 2022, 2024. Where has Mahapurush Achyutananda has means predicted those things? Nowhere. People have never read those Bhavisya Malika Grunths. So I am making this video. So I was actually in this channel making videos in Odia talking about this topic, sometimes not very frequently, but sometimes clarifying some things and putting my position, putting my view, and whatever I have learned, whatever I have researched, my understanding I have always kept on this channel in the language of Odia. But because I saw that people are doing this in other states in Hindi language, I also tried to debunk some of those claims that some group of people are doing about this Bhavisya Malika, which are simply not correct, which are not actually what is there in the books. So I tried to make videos in Hindi, but I see that people eventually are going to talk about in other countries, in other parts of the world where maybe Hindu, you can say diaspora or Hindu people are living, and they are talking in English, and they will be talking in all sort of things about Bhavisya Malika. They are discussing about this thing. So I am simply keeping this video in English language as well, so that people from out of this uh, country like India, who are not speaking either Odia or Hindi language, who are in countries like let's say America or some other country, who are talking in English language, so they can understand. If somehow they come to watch this video or come to know about this video from some source or someone who shared it, they can understand what is the truth. So that is the reason, and that is the purpose. Even if this is an Odia channel, I am making a video and I am explaining in English about the real facts about Bhavisya Malika. So if you happen to watch this video and you know someone who actually have come across this kind of stuff about Bhavisya Malika and Kalki Avatar, and you want to explain him the truth, then you can share this video as well, so that people will know what is the fact. So now let me explain about the truth about Bhavisya Malika, Kalki Avatar in a brief time, in a brief time period, or a short video. See, the thing is about Bhavisya Malika. How many Bhavisya Malika books are there? According to Mahapurush Achyutananda, there have been many saints in Odisha, but during the period of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, before the arrival of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there were few saints born in Odisha who revived the culture of Odisha, who made it accessible for the common people to understand the message of the Vedas, of the Puranas, because people were most of the people were illiterate in the sense that they did not know Sanskrit or could not understand it, so could not talk it and teach it. So these group of saints, they converted many kind of teachings of Vedas, Sanskrit, which are in Sanskrit, or Puranas which are in Sanskrit, to Odia language. Like Jagannath Das, he wrote the Bhagavata in Odia, so people could easily read it and recite it and talk with each other. Similarly, Mahapurush Achyutananda translated the Harivansha Purana into Odia language. Similarly, Balaram Das was there, Sishunata Das were there. They have also different kind of works which they translated from Sanskrit. Along with that, they were Siddhas. They were Siddha saints, means they had yogic powers. So using those yogic powers, they were able to see the future events. So during the period they were in Odisha doing the revival, they could see the future that was a dangerous kind of future that was coming for the state of Odisha, not exactly for the state of India or for the whole world, but for the state of Odisha, because those were saints from Odisha. They have in their tasks also written that Sri Krishna, who is their friend, because these are friends and contemporaries of Sri Krishna as well. Whenever Sri Krishna has taken birth, these five saints, they have also taken birth in many different, you can say, positions or roles. For example, during the time of the Dwapar Yuga, when Krishna was there, these set of five saints were his friends in Gopapura. So in the Ramayana period also, when Rama Avatar was there, then these group of people were there in the Banar Sena as well. So the Nala and Nila that we know of, who constructed the bridge over this ocean for the making path to Sri Lanka, Nala and Nila were the incarnation of Mahapurush Achyutananda and also another saint. So the point is, whenever Sri Krishna takes birth or whenever Sri Krishna takes any kind of incarnation on earth, these five set of people are there. So when Sri Krishna Chaitanya Avatar was also there, at those time also these five group of saints were also present in Odisha, and they had written that it was the command of Sri Krishna to go and Odisha or the Utkala Mandala is their action, where their action, primary action will be take place. They are to take care of this particular region of the geography, you can say. So they prophesied many different things about the state of Odisha, and they prophesied whatever they prophesied. They did not give any direct clue that okay, in this particular year this will happen, or in this particular month or whatever this will happen. No, their way of telling that okay, something will happen was in an indirect way, and that too linking with the Anka system. Anka system means during the period when they were in Odisha, at that time there was no English rule in Odisha or maybe in India. There were no other religion rules in Odisha or India. India it was there, but not in Odisha exactly. So what happened was that they used the system of year that was used in Odisha state. For example, whenever how it was used, whenever any king was coronated, from that period of time the Anka system was counted, like year 1, year 2, something like that. Though there is a particular Anka system which is not actually in a serial order like 1, 2, 3, 4. There are some rules to it, but whenever he has indicated that okay, this sort of thing will happen, if he has given any kind of link to the timeline, then it is to the indirect use of this Anka system. So nobody can tell that whatever Anka he has used is actually meaning to year we are currently using. For example, in one particular Malika Grantha, Mahapurush Achyutananda has written that in 2022 there will from India there will be extinction of light. Means I am literally doing a translation. 22 ଭାରତ ଦୀପ ଲିଭିଯିବ, that is in Odia. So if I translate into English, it will be something like that: if you have put on a light or a diya, that will turn off in 2022. Okay, so he has written like that: বাইশে ଭାରତ ଦୀପ ଲିଭିଯିବ, ପୃଥ୍ୱୀ ହେବ ଗଳକୁଣ୍ଡା, ହାତେ ଧରି ଖଣ୍ଡା ମଦନ ଭୂଷଣ୍ଡା, ମାତି ଯିବେ ଗଣ୍ଡା ଗଣ୍ଡା. So those are in Odia terms. So if we tell it like this and translate it like this, it will be that the light will get extinguished from India, and there will be attack on India. So people who holding swords will attack India. So those kind of things will come up if we translate it. So he has written 22, 23, 24, 25 like this, not exactly in a serial order, but this kind of thing in a poetical way, because all his writings are in a poetic manner. So what he has done is that he has given like numbers like 22, 23. What the current generation people are doing is that they are opening it up, saying that it has been written by Sitaisi, and they are telling it that it is year 2022, 2023, 2024, like that. But this is not correct. Mahapurusha has never given any year system that is like this. In some Malika Granths, very few instances are there where the Sana system or the Sala system that we are currently using, or the Masiha system that has been used, but that is very rare and only in particular places. And also we have to wonder whether those are also authentic or not, because in the past there have been many Malika Granths in circulation which were doubtful in nature, because it is a fact that people do many different kinds of copying, and they plagiarize it and also interpolate it and do many different sorts of things. So we also have to see that whether those set of books that are available today or in circulation today, those are authentic or not. Those needs to be analyzed, but no such kind of research has been done. If any sort of research has been done by some, let's say, PhD candidate or some guy in Odisha state, they have only said that okay, in their generation it is going to happen. So it is not the first time that people are claiming like this. In the past also people have claimed that okay, these sort of things will happen in the 1960s, in the 1970s. So I just briefly gave you the idea that no direct link to any year has been given. So whenever anyone is saying that this will happen in this year or Satyuga will come in this year, it is only their interpretation which is possible that it could be wrong. So we have to take into account those things. So not like Nostradamus in his book of prophecies. Even that is also questioned whether that is authentic or not. But I am just giving you one example. In the book of prophecies, like Nostradamus, he has written for every decade, like okay, this decade this will happen, this decade this will happen, in a means puzzle kind of way. But nothing like that has been done by Mahapurush. Even in his books, the sequence of events is also not in a sequential manner. Okay, not that if the first line states that okay, this will happen, and the next line whatever is stated it will happen after that event. No, it is not in a chronological way. It has not been mentioned in that way. So it is very, very, very difficult to understand the book of prophecies, or maybe the Malika Granth, which has been written by Achyutananda. Plain simple. No one can claim that okay, this is the correct, because they have done it multiple times and it is not matching. But like I told, eventually they will be correct. Why? Because Mahapurusha Satyananda, whatever he has written, it will come to pass. It has been, because he is not a saint who is not present now. We cannot, in some way, direct or indirect way, even he is present today also, even in his group of devotees, etc. And he is guiding them also. And for those set of devotees also, he has prophesied, okay, my devotee will be born in this place, and this will be the position of his house, whatever trees will be there. So he has prophesied it in a clear manner, where their devotees will be born, in which village, what will be the place like. And another thing is that apart from the Anka Ganana system, if any other hint Mahapurusha has given, it is the position of planetary position in the sky. So somewhere he has written that okay, like currently they are saying that Minna Sani Yoga will come, but Minna Sani Yoga has many times come and gone. This is not that he has prophesied for this one. Yes, there are some prophecies which even if not by Mahapurush Achyutananda, or some other of his contemporaries or some other saints who have written Malika Granth, they have given hints about 2025, but not in Bhavisya Malika. There are other books. So what is happening is that they are doing simply their own interpretation and they are putting it forward and saying that okay, these are in Bhavisya Malika. But to be honest, those sort of things are actually their only own interpretation without having any substance in Malika itself. They are simply theorizing their idea and spreading their idea like this will happen, that will happen. Mahapurush has given many set of prophecies that we may discuss in some other videos. If any comment comes like that, then maybe I will discuss. Otherwise, maybe I will not discuss. But what will be those things and why he has written that, that is something else than what this group of people are prophesying, like Third World War, etc. These things will happen. Everyone knows, even if it is in the Malika or any other book or not, World War III is going to happen. That is a fact. At some point of time, eventually, it may happen. It will happen. The probability is high enough given the current situations and whatever has started from 2022. But to link that, Mahapurush has told that this will happen, that will happen. For example, I was watching some video yesterday. Someone told that okay, sun will be rising in the west, where Mahapurush has written that, but they are claiming that in Bhavisya Malika it is written. No, Bhavisya Malika has told something else about sun rising in the west, that maybe we can discuss later on. But they are simply kind of spreading a kind of a fear or false information like that. So the purpose I am making this video is that one thing you have to understand, Bhavisya Malika is a set of books, not one particular book. And in those books, majority of the events, whatever Mahapurush has predicted, is for Odisha only. And that too, most of those things have already passed. That is something you have to keep in mind, because there has been a 600 years period gap between Mahapurush having written those prophecies and current time. And in those time, it was a very bad period for state of Odisha, where it was attacked by Mughals, Turkeys, and all those sort of different religion people. And also it was taken over, it was attacked by the Marathis, it was attacked by the Telangas, it was also taken over by the English people or the East India Company, British people. So it was a terrible period for the state of Odisha, and Odisha witnessed many kind of famines, many kind of floods. So those events Mahapurush had predicted beforehand, and those majority of the events, whatever in the Bhavisya Malika books, even 90%, around 90%, I would say, are in for those set of period, and those have already passed. And Mahapurush has written that when the time will change, when the Satyug in Kali, because like there are dasa, antardasa system, in every dasa there are different antardasa. Similarly, in Kalyug also there will be good time and bad time. So when this period of bad time will over, when Satya Kali will come, at that time what will happen is that the control of the country, you can say, it will be again back to our hand, means the Indian people, or maybe you can say the Odisha people, because it will be going to other people in the meantime, in the troublesome period. So majority of the prophecies were for those periods of time. That is one thing you have to understand. And another thing you have to understand is that about Kalki Avatar. For Kalki Avatar, people are spreading many sorts of things, but the majority of events that has been mentioned in the Bhavisya Malika about Kalki Avatar, those are also for those period of time when the religion will be attacked, when the temples will be attacked. At that period of time, when the king of the Odisha will be attacked, the Jagannath Mahaprabhu will take the Kalki Avatar Rupa, and he will protect the king, he will protect the temple, he will not allow the temple to get destroyed. So he will fight with the Mlechas, etc. It has been mentioned, because during those period of time there were many attacks on the Jagannath temple also that happened, but they were not successful at all. Even till date, the temple stands there, and the Lord is also there. There were many ways Lord was protected, Lord was hidden, and still it is there. And many different things happened. Those were also mentioned and prophesied in the Malika as well, like the sea level rising and the sea level coming to the temple, but people don't realize that there was a time when the Bay of Bengal, it was not so far like it is today. It was very near to the temple, and the positioning of the temple is such that it will easily get the sea level can easily get over it. So people don't realize that, and spread many different sort of things. So I just wanted to make it clear in this video that whenever you hear about people claiming about all sort of different sects from Bhavisya Malika, don't believe all of those, because majority of those claims that they are doing and whatever written in those Bhavisya Malika books, I have many of those books what are available today. But you have to understand that Mahapurush has written, there are 318 number of books he has written about future prophecies, and we do not have all of them. In due course of time, Mahapurusha may make it available through some devotees or some people, but don't trust the devotees who are coming on YouTube. That is one thing you have to always keep in mind. Okay, you have to ask the question about why people are doing such things, because otherwise they will be simply spreading lies and their own agenda. So it actually, actually got some knowledge from Mahapurusha's line of work. That is why I have a reverence for Mahapurusha, and I happen to know many of his writings and have gone through their books and done some researches and etc. So it always saddened me to see these false things having been done. I never hoped that, I was content that okay, people are talking about in Odisha because we all know, so they let them talk, let them do whatever they are doing. I simply on my own way I keep my views. But I was deeply saddened when I saw that people from outer state also picking this up and making many false claims and spreading fear and many different sort of things they are doing. And I did not like that. So I thought of doing something. So I created some videos in Hindi, and now I am also explaining these things in English, because I also want to make it available so that people from other countries, if they happen to watch this sort of things and tend to believe this, then they will at least know some substance that is based on fact, not simply some propaganda or agenda. Having said all those things, now let me clear some things up. Has Mahapurusha predicted about future events? Yes. That has not come to pass yet? Yes, exactly. There are many prophecies which he has prophesied that has not come to pass yet. But those are not the same that few people are claiming. Like the world will change, Satyug will come, and all sorts of things, because the timing that Mahapurush has given is something different than they are claiming. So do you need to be aware about those prophecies? Absolutely not. That is the thing that you need to know. The people who are making those videos should not be making those videos about Mahapurush, because Mahapurush has directly told, when whichever book you read, whenever there are some secrets or future prophecies he is speaking to his disciples, he has written that you should not reveal this to anyone. This is solely for the devotees or solely for you. But they are spreading it, they are talking all sorts of things. So do you not need to be aware about those things? Obviously not, because what is there to happen will happen. And if you discuss something that has been forbidden, then I don't know what you are doing, or whether you are causing people to have fear, etc. Because instead you may claim that we are telling people to hour and chant Harinam, etc., so that what will happen, these events will get postponed or you will get redemption. Okay, something is better than nothing. Yanatena prakaranam Krishna bhajate. So in that way, you are taking the name of out of fear. Even if out of fear you are taking the name of the Lord, a Lord of the Hari, that is good for you. But that is not a reason you should preach people that okay, take the name of Hari because something fearful is happening. That shouldn't be your model, where Lord has means advocated for these sort of things that terrorize people, let them have fear. This is simply disrupting, because I read comment from people and views from people who are telling, we are in America, we are in USA, so what should we be doing? So if everything is going to fall, should we leave our jobs, should we come back to India, etc.? They are talking about many different sort of things. What is the need of terrorizing people like this? Let them continue with their own life. Whenever any catastrophe that is scheduled to happen will happen, then it will happen. You cannot escape it simply by knowing it. Even if you know it, it will only ruin your present. It will not escape you. And if you think that, okay, you need to yeah, something that came to my mind, I need to also tell you about this thing. People who actually can predict things, can tell about future, they are not telling any sort of thing like that, because there are people who know the future, who can predict the future, and who can predict about your future as well. They are not spreading these kind of things that, okay, world is going to end, so you leave everything. No, they are not doing like that. But who don't know the future, who don't have the power to see the future, they are spreading all sort of things that the world will get ruined, etc., etc. So if you happen to have someone who is interested in those kind of Bhavishya Malika things, or Mahapurush Achyutananda's writings, and you come across many different videos, then my simple suggestion to you is that don't trust all of them. Whatever future prophecies there, I am thinking that I will create a brief video. Whatever things that can be said, I will tell, and I will keep it in public domain so that everyone can listen to it or watch it. Otherwise, you, whenever you come across such videos, please don't go and believe all sort of things. Just know that people like this sort of agenda or propagation have been doing for many years. Eventually they will be right, because we are in a troublesome decade, not because Bhavishya Malika says it. Bhavishya Malika, like I told you, Bhavishya Malika is not for this time period. It was for a time period which was for Odisha. Majority of prophecies are for Odisha state only, and people are making it all sort of different things. But there are few points that are applicable to the world, so we'll discuss later on. But keep in mind that whenever you hear about Bhavisya Malika, don't trust it completely, and know that majority of it was for Odisha. People are simply propagating it for many different reasons. I don't know why they are doing it. Let them do their work. People like me who happen to know or understand something, let them do their work also. And you, as an innocent viewer who come across those things, you go into the deep and decide. But the point you should keep in mind is that knowing the future is not going to prevent it, okay, and it is not going to make your life easier today or easier now. You should be doing what is right. You should take the name of Hari, or you should practice devotion or any other method, not because the world is going to be destroyed. Eventually it will get destroyed, but maybe after many years, not in 2025 or 2030. So don't ruin your life like hearing these prophecies. And also, I'm not saying that nothing bad is going to happen. It is clearly evident whatever bad is going to happen is going to happen, but knowing that it will not change it, or getting terrorized by this kind of stuff will not change it. Just take the name of Hari out of devotion, out of love, not out of fear. That is my position that I am spreading through these videos, because people are spreading all different sort of things. I hope that I touched some points that I wanted to discuss in this brief. I wanted to keep it short, within 30 minutes. So I touched those points. If anything else you want to know, any specific question, you simply comment it, or maybe you can share or send me message in the link I am providing in the Facebook page, and I will answer it. If you happen to have any other questions, let me know. I will make a video about it. Otherwise, I think I did my part. I created this video. We'll discuss more on this later on. Thank you. Om Bande Mahaprabhu.